Here, this is a two-man approach, what you're constantly doing. Each guy's got his own HT bottom tester, bottom finder like this. You see it's on this springy thing. You just kind of clip it here on the head of the jig. I got a couple shot right ahead of it, and here's my float, and these floats are balanced with a weight here to help adjust it. You just drop it over the side. You'll see my staff in here. And just keep going, 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 going. Now watch. Now watch where the float is at. Bing. You can see where I stop. You can see my float from my line. That's right there. You see where the float is? It's right. I'll just reel it down. From the tip of my rod to that float is where the bottom is. That'll put me about a foot above the fish. Perfect. Perfect. And it's so important to be real close to above those fish, preferably as close as you can. Generally about a foot seems to make the best sense. And that leech just kind of sits there and wobbles and wiggles like that, and he's got a bite on it. Okay, did you see it hit? What? There's one going. All you do is lift. These fish are a little higher on a break here, Jim. Feels like a good one. You know, the popularity of float fishing for walleye started on Mille Lacs Lake in Minnesota, and I'll tell you what, it's really, really grown. People all over the country are doing it. They're fishing them in weeds, they're fishing them in deep water like we're doing now. Guys are learning how to use them in really, fish. You know, heavy wooded areas and reservoirs. It is such a unique system of fishing for walleyes, and it is so deadly whether you're deep or shallow. It really doesn't make a difference. The system is the important part of it.
There's a lot of different slip floats on the market today. For walleye fishing, the Mille Lacs Slider features a lengthened shaft, making it more suitable for windswept water. Thin stem floats with a fat body are right for lighter wind conditions. One of the more important facets of slip float fishing is balance. Generally, you want to put enough split shot below the float so it goes down with a minimal amount of resistance. For stem floats, Phil makes add-on weights to quickly balance your float. As far as the business end of this rig, stealth is the name of the game. For walleyes, we'll fish leeches on a number 6 to number 8 Ultra Point neon bait hook or a 1/16 to 1/64 ounce jig.
Well, you know, I remember years ago when float fishing started to become popular, I thought, man, I can come around and Lindy rig circles around these guys. Well, I seen what those floats did. I fished around people, they just caught fish after fish after fish like this. And I would come through and rigging these fish or pulling spinners or plugs. And when the float bite is right, there is nothing, and I mean nothing that can equal it.
Oh, beautiful fish.
Huh? I mean, it's such a simple yet deadly way of fishing. The key to it, it's leaving live bait right in front of that fish's nose for a long period of time. And for neutral the negative fish, there is no better way I know to catch walleyes than with a float.
Since your walleye fishing success is directly related to how lively your leeches are, it always pays to give them a little TLC. Here's a few simple guidelines to keep your leeches raring to go. Leeches will shrink in size if they're too active, so it's best to store them in a leech tamer because it restricts their movement. The mesh bag floats in your live well and keeps them clean and happy, and also acclimates them to the water temperature of the lake. This will prevent them from balling up on your hook. Lastly, the rule of thumb is never fish a leech faster than it can swim.